What's up, y'all? Today we're going to be looking at Mordred. Mordred's passive gives him a wrath meter that he can charge up when attacking enemies. Hitting all enemies with auto attacks gives you 1 wrath, but hitting enemy gods with abilities gives you 2. You also gain 1 wrath every 4 seconds passively. Once you reach 40 wrath, you're able to use your first ultimate. After you reach 80, you're able to use your second ultimate. He also does get a cool little ability from his passive, which lets you dash while you're in combat. You can see here that I'm not able to use my dash until after I start attacking. The dash does deal damage, but if you hit an enemy god with it, they also are knocked up. So Mordred's auto attacks are a little different than the other gods in this game. He's got a 4-hit chain where the first and last hit scale mainly off of strength, while the middle 2 hits scale mainly off of intelligence. His auto attacks do have a little more range compared to the other gods with melee auto attacks. Right here you can see that Ymir is a little bit off to my side, but I'm still able to hit him since my auto attacks attack in a cone. Mordred's first ability is his main damage dealer and hits enemies twice. This ability has 2 different effects based on which auto attack is next up in your chain. If your first or last auto attack is next up, the second hit deals extra damage to enemies. Now if your second or third auto attack is next up, your second hit of your ability heals you instead of dealing extra damage. The bonus damage and heal both scale off of your protections, but healing against minions is reduced. Mordred's 2 hits all enemies around him in a small circle, but also gives him an attack speed and a movement speed buff. Every time he hits an enemy with an auto attack while he's buffed, he gets increased protections while reducing the enemy's protections that can stack 4 times. Before we cover his ultimates, let's go ahead and take a look at his 3. His 3 damages and slows all enemies in a straight line in front of him. If you hit enemy gods with the center of the ability, it makes them take bleed damage every 1.25 meters that they move. Hitting an enemy minion or jungle camp applies damage over time instead of bleed due to movement. Now onto his ultimate. We briefly covered a little bit of his ultimate in his passive based on his wrath meter. Once you've reached 40 wrath, you can use Heart Slash, where you latch onto enemy gods and root them while dealing damage repeatedly. While they're rooted, you get a shield and you also do heal over time. If you reach 80 wrath, you unlock Pursue the Weak. You become CC immune and charge forward while being able to run through all walls. You stop on the first enemy hit, stun all enemies in a circle around you, and launch them into the sky while slashing with your swords. Mordred's playstyle is a little different compared to the other warriors, so his build is going to look a little different as well. For his full build, you would want Sundering Axe for your starter item, Eye of the Storm, Devourer's Gauntlet, Berserker's Shield, Prophetic Cloak, Jotun's Revenge, and the Crusher. If you need a counter build anti-heal, I'd recommend buying Ruinous Ankh, but either swapping it for Eye of the Storm or Berserker's Shield depending on how fast you need to get that online. With all things considered, make sure y'all take advantage of his aggressive playstyle and windows of opportunity like this quick triple kill coming up, and keep an eye out for my next video.